Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure model review for you. This time I am reviewing the Joy Toy Battle for the Stars, the Cult of San Reja Logan. This was released in 2022. This is an actual model instead of an action figure. It's very fragile. It comes in a closed box and factory sealed. I ordered this through an online store, and when I received it, it was rattling a little bit. So I immediately opened it to make sure everything was okay, and everything is okay. So here is the box. Nice picture on the front. There is the top. There is the bottom. Here is one side. Some warning information, not for children. This is recommended for children or adults 17 years old and up, because it is a model, so we need to be very careful with it. Here's some manufacturing information. The headquarters is in Beijing, China, in the Chaoyang district. That district is where many countries have their embassies in China. And the back shows some nice pictures of Logan. The Chinese name is Zhan Xingchen. There's 3 characters. Zhan is for fight, Xingchen is for star. So let's take a look. I do prefer plastic packaging, and fortunately this does have plastic in the packaging. It helps protect the figure. It comes in a tray. We have some extra accessories here. Here is a card about Logan. It shows a picture of what Logan has. It shows how the figure is put together, and it recommends that if a part breaks, we can glue it back together. And it is important to know how it's put together, because that's how many of the extra accessories are put on the figure. And it comes in a nice tray with the figure and some accessories. And it has something here to keep the figure dry. So here it is. So I'll get this set up and review the figure and accessories in just a moment. Here are the accessories we get with the Logan figure. We get an extra pair of gripping hands. They have a little hole at the end of the wrist there to plug into the peg on the arm of the figure. And these are gripping hands with a slightly different size grip than the hands that are already on the figure. And that's for different types of weapons. We have a nice little knife here. Actually kind of sharp. Looks nice. Nicely painted and nicely sculpted there. And we have some kind of machine gun with a big blade at the end there. Nicely wrapped, sculpted, and painted. So it looks pretty good there. Nice attention to detail. That's stiff plastic, it's not pliable. And we have another weapon here with a blade at the end. Also nicely sculpted and painted. So they paid a lot of attention to the detail here. And we have a sword. So this is a stiff plastic, so we really don't want to bend it, otherwise it'll break. So we want to be very careful with something like this. It does look nice. And here is some kind of spear weapon. So it's very long, so we do want to be careful, because it would snap if we bend it too much, because there's no pliability in it. It'd be nice if it was much stronger plastic, or if it was just a little more pliable. That way, if we are a little careless, it's not going to break. So we just have to remember to be very careful when handling this. And here is a shield. Lots of nice details sculpted and painted on the shield there. Interesting little skull there. And here's the handle. Now it came in this position. I think we can turn it a little bit, but I've tried a little bit, but we want to be very, very careful because of the extra plastic pieces here. Here's the handle, and this slides on the arm. However, if we put it on the arm of the figure, we'll have to remove this part here in order for this to clip onto the forearm. So kind of a circular position, but I haven't been able to turn it, and I'm not going to push very hard because it is fragile plastic. But it is all very nice looking accessories that go along with the figure. Here is Logan from the Cult of San Reja, or the Cult of San Reja. Let's see how tall this figure is. According to the tape measure, about 4 1/4 inches tall, or about 11 centimeters tall, up to the top of the mohawk. So a nicely sized figure. He's wearing some kind of gas mask and nice mohawk there, so it certainly looks like he's from the post-apocalyptic future, wandering the wastelands after a nuclear war or something like that. So very nicely sculpted. So the mohawk is a bit pointy. The plastic is a bit stiff, so we want to be careful if we bend it. We don't want to snap it off. But very large gas mask covering his mouth area. Lots of details. Here is an extra vest that is put over the body, and it's a little more pliable than some of the other figures that had a vest, but it's a different design, but nicely sculpted and painted. Here's some extra pieces. These are extra pieces here, loose pieces here and here, also up here and on this arm. The belt is loose, and the thigh piece here, that's an extra piece. So there's a base body under it, and then these pieces are put into place, and then it is fully assembled with the arms attached to the body, the hands put into the wrist, and the body put together with the waist and the legs. So if we're very careful, we can take this apart and remove some of the small pieces in order to customize it to make the character look the way we want it to. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I like the way the figure looks now. Yeah, lots of sculpted details, lots of painting. Nice knee pads. There's spikes on the toes. They're pretty sharp if you push hard enough. There are peg holes on the bottom. So if we look carefully in the sculpting there, we can see that there is an extra piece, so there should be a point of articulation at the toes. And they did pay attention to the back, so nice sculpting and painting here. So they did put in some effort on all sides of the figure, and it looks pretty nice. So let's try the articulation. So at the head, we can look up that much and look down. We can turn side to side. Now right out of the package, the joints were a little bit stiff, but if we're very careful, very gentle, and wiggle it a little bit, we can make it work without breaking it. So the shoulders go out this much. Very nice. And they do go around. Go around. There's no bicep cut. And also we want to be careful when we try to bend the elbows. We make sure that we know where the elbow joint is and where it should be bending. So it's a single jointed elbow. Just a little more than 90 degrees. We also have a swivel at the elbow. And that is working. And at the wrist, it plugs into the peg so we can bend it, turn it, and bend it around. So it does move. That will turn, and we can bend it. Well, it actually hinges up and down on this one. And we do have a diaphragm cut in the middle there. I think it's using the same body as a couple of the other figures. So the diaphragm cut, it's a bit stiff, but we can wiggle it around a little bit. Just a little bit. We also have a waist cut where most of that movement is happening. So it goes around. We can turn it a little bit. So looking pretty good. At the hips, we can do the splits there. Pretty good. And kick forward that much. And back that much. This one seems to be a bit stiff. There we go. Kick forward that much. And go back a little bit. Now there is an upper thigh cut on this figure. So we can turn at the upper thigh cut there. That side is working. And this side is not working. So I don't know why. It's a bit stiff, so I'm not going to push it. And then we have double jointed knees. That one is working. And this one is working. And at the ankles, we can go down that much. This one is very stiff, so I can barely get that one to move. But this one works better. So we go up that much. We have an ankle pivot here. And there should be one on this side, but I have not gotten it to work for me yet. So I'm not going to push it. So I'll have to work on loosening it. And then there should be toe articulation, but I have never been able to get the toe articulation to work on these figures. But I'm not too worried about it, because as long as the feet are flat, it'll work nicely for me. So let's get this figure standing. And get him standing straight and tall. So not too bad. I move very slowly with the figure because it is fragile, but as long as we're gentle, it should work nicely. Here is Logan next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is a Fortnite figure, Jonesy, from Jazzwares. Here is Logan with a 6-inch action figure on the left, the Fortnite Legendary Series Havoc action figure by Jazzwares, and a 7-inch action figure on the right, the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. So this Logan figure from the Joy Toy Battle for the Stars, the Cult of San Reja, or the Cult of San Reja, it looks pretty nice. I like the way the figure looks. It's a nice 1/18 scale action figure, or model. It's actually a model because it's very fragile, so we have to be careful how we move it. So that's the one thing that's a little disappointing. It's very fragile. It would be nice if it were made of a sturdier plastic, and it would be nice if the accessories were made of a sturdier plastic, so I wouldn't be so worried about breaking them if I were careless for a moment. A couple of problems with the figure is the toe articulation did not work at all, but so far I haven't gotten any of the toe articulation to work. At least the feet are flat, so I'm not too worried about that. A couple other joints, like this upper thigh cut here, was not working, so that's a little disappointing. Another thing is the shield piece. It'd be nice if I could use the shield piece without having to take the figure apart in order for this shield to be put or attached firmly to the figure. So if they could make the clip a little bit bigger to go around any accessories on the forearm, I would certainly appreciate that. But other than that, it certainly looks very nice. I like the post-apocalyptic wasteland wandering warrior theme, so very nice. Thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.